Hi, welcome to AB Heating and Cooling. It's about 8:30 in the morning. I'm en route right now to a customer's house where I'm getting a call for no heat on his furnace. Just want to take you along on one of my basic routine days on what I go through, customer's house to customer's house. Uh, Hope you have fun watching the video. This is my second project for the day. What I have going on here is my air vents are leaking. I have one here and I also have one actually on top of the boiler. All they are is their air vents. It allows any air in the system to come out at the top of the vent itself right here. There's a plate that's inside of here if you can hear it shaking. What happens is as the water gets high enough, it pushes the plate up and it stops at this point, but during that time it allows any air that's in the system to come out. So we're going to replace the one up top and the one at the bottom. Alright, so I had to determine where my shutoffs were. The first thing you want to do is you want to shut off. I don't want to drain the whole entire house, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to isolate as much as I can to keep as much water in the house as possible so we don't have to refill the whole entire system. So I have a shutoff valve here that feeds to the radiators for return, which looks like it's the supply, part of the supply. I'm also, very important, going to turn off the main supply, which is right next to the regulator. It feeds into the regulator. If you can see the regulator here, the pressure reg, which feeds, it keeps a constant 12 psi pressure inside of the system. So I'm going to shut off the main that feeds that because I don't want any water, in the event that this thing ever passes, which they could pass, but I don't want to have a whole bunch of water and feeding back at me when I go to do what I have to do here. So I'm shutting that off. And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut off my return, which if you can see right here, I'm going to shut my return off as well. So now I've isolated the entire system now. The only water I have is left in here is going to be just what's in the boiler and what's above us up here to that shutoff valve at the top. And what I'm going to do now is, we're getting a hose, but in the meantime what I'm going to do is just open this up and I'm going to allow the water to flow through. Now if I had the main on at this point right now, what would happen would be that water coming out of there would come out much faster than what you see right now. So you can hear it slowing down. So probably going to end up with about a good anywhere 15-20 gallons of water, if that, coming at me, and maybe less than that. As you can see, it's slowing down still, slowing down, and it almost stopped. So I'm just going to check to see what I have. Alright, what I have coming out of here, don't be alarmed when you see this. The water is going to be, it'll be black, just like what you see going on right here. A lot of times what I do is I add a rust inhibitor inside of there, but what this is it's just distilled water within the system. You got black iron pipe here, so it's just metal and everything else, debris that's all inside of here. A lot of times, sometimes it'll actually emit like a real bad odor, like a bad egg. But don't be alarmed, like I said, when you smell that stuff or if you see this. So this is just something normal. Anyway, we've isolated the from the rest of the house to the rest of the radiators, all the way to the boiler here. I was able to hear air coming out of the air vent here, letting me know that all my water is going down to that point. Like I said, I talked about the plate before inside of here. I know at that point that the water went down to that point and allowed air to go around the plate and come out at the vent. Alright, so I'm on the site now and I'm trying to figure out why there's no heat. And we're calling for heat now, so I'm just going to go through different steps so you can watch everything that I'm doing. First, I'm going to check to see if there's 24 volts coming off of the circuit board right now. As I go to turn it on right now, the LED is showing that its normal operation is green right now, so that's letting me know that that part is reading. There should be 24 volts within that circuit board right now. Because the thermostat is set on heat, I now need to check to see if there is heat, if it is calling for heat going off the W and going. My next step is to see, so it lets me know that the thermostat is in proper operation and the circuit board is in proper operation. I now need to figure out now why the system is still not calling for heat. All right, so what I did was I found that the wire for the it was wired into the condensate pump, and it was stopping the call for heat. Actually, the whole call for operation for the unit itself. So what I did was I already recommended the customer. I already told the customer the lifespan, the average lifespan on a condensate pump. Normally, you get a good 5 years out of the quality ones. This happens to be a Beckett, which is like one of the top brands that they have out there, condensate pump. But they're not real expensive devices, so they will fail on wire when you go to wire it up into the circuit board. Does it kind of easy. So anyway, what I did was took the wires off, bypassed it. I'm just going to rewire everything all together and just not wire into the condensate pump. I don't recommend that if you have it in the attic. Like if you have it in the attic, it should be mandatory replacing if you begin to have issues with it. Anyway, wired it up. Immediately the unit comes on at that point. First thing you get is your fan inducer for the sequence of operation. You get the fan inducer comes on, this inducer assembly, which is a little motor up here. Got your pressure switches. Pressure switches are going to activate at one point, causing the hot surface igniter to come on. After the hot surface igniter comes on, the circuit board tells the smart valve, the gas valve, to click and open up. And you're going to hear a click in a second. Click. We've achieved fire at that point. These are the normal operations on a furnace. Again, I thank you for watching my video. Again, it's AB Heating and Cooling. Phone number is 856-207-9298. It's abheatingandcooling.com. Thanks.